What's up, brothers? This is David Lai. I'm founder of Evolving Man. So in this video, I want to share a couple of thoughts about trauma. Obviously, this is a huge topic, and I decided that I want to talk more about trauma because if we don't understand how trauma is affecting our personal lives, but also what's happening culturally and globally, it's pretty hard to move to anything else. So what do I mean by that? A lot of the things that we take for granted in our experience in our daily lives is a symptom of trauma. And now I remember that as I grew up as a child, I kind of had a sense of this. Like, I was really confused by how all the adults around me were living their lives. Like, something felt really off, and I really didn't understand what was going on, and I felt really alone with this sensing. Like, I had no one to talk to about it. And it was only in my early 20s that I discovered this thing, trauma, that people talk about, and how it's shaping our experience. And so just to give you a couple of examples, the fact that you don't feel fully alive in your body is a symptom of trauma. The fact that your mind sometimes like spins in these loops and is super fast is a symptom of trauma. The fact that we're violating the earth that we're living on and we're not feeling the consequences of that, like we're not seeing them, we're not aware of them, is a symptom of trauma. The fact that most of us are kind of drifting through life, you know, not feeling like in the driver's seat and like I get to create, but kind of this like passive consumer of what is going on and kind of recipient of life. Those are all symptoms of trauma. Now, what is trauma? Trauma comes from the Greek word for wound. It's a wound. And so in my understanding, trauma is any kind of unprocessed experience inside of your nervous system. And so it's not just like these huge things that happen, like a car accident or getting raped or being a war victim or something like that. Trauma can also, you know, from the outside look really small. And especially as children, when we're so sensitive and so open to everything that's going on around us, something that can be traumatic is, you know, we cry, and because our mother is so overwhelmed and cannot cope with it, goes away. Or not even goes away, but even energetically is not present with us. That can already create trauma. That can already lead to us not being able to process our experience. Now that's going to get stored in our body as a like a blockage in a way, like a place in our body where energy cannot just flow through. Now the thing is, we're not only facing individual trauma, like things that you and I experience in our own lives, but there's also a lot of collective trauma, like things that have happened in the past, like wars, for example, like the wounds that men have created, you know, through violating women, through war, whatever it is, just to give you a couple of examples. Those all have an impact on our lives. It's almost like we're being born into a world where trauma is all around us in a way. Now, you know, this can sound kind of dark and dooming, and in a way it is, but we need to wake up to the fact that that's what's happening so that we can move beyond it. But what I really want to say in this video is this: your natural state is not being disconnected, being stuck in your head, not knowing what you want, feeling pain and suffering and all these things. That's not your natural state. Those are all symptoms and consequences of trauma. Why is that important? Because in this journey that you're on to connecting more deeply to yourself, to living a life of purpose, to becoming deeply embodied, it makes a big difference if we think that we have to like work our way towards how we want to feel, like having a sense of power and connection and creativity. Like if that's something that we need to like fight through, or if it's more of a process of removing the layers that are in the way of this natural state of yours. Because feeling joy and bliss and connection and creativity and power, that's your natural state. That's who you are. That's why you so deeply long for it. Okay? And so we don't have to create these things. That's like the base of our experience. So what do we need to do instead? Look at and release all the layers that have gotten in the way of your natural state. And so all of the other things that I talk about in all my other videos and texts, they are about looking and removing these layers. And again, the difference is, do I need to work my ass off to get somewhere where no other human being has ever gotten? Or do I just look at everything that is getting in the way of my natural state? Because that way you will realize living your purpose and being in bliss and in connection and in abundance, it's actually in a way easier than everything else because it's your natural state. And so I really want this to be an encouragement. It's like, that's who you truly are. And if we want to get back to that, we need to become really serious about and honest with ourselves about all the things that are getting in the way. All the pain, all the trauma, all the lies we're telling ourselves, that's what's getting in the way. And so that's what the work is about. And if you do the work, you're going to realize that who you truly are is everything that you were ever looking for. So it's not really something that you have to like work your way towards and away from yourself, but it's coming back to who you truly are. All right? If you resonate with this, give this a like, share it. Let me know if you have any questions about this. And as always, with Evolving Man, you're seen, you're loved, you're appreciated. Keep evolving, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.